YouTube. So this video, it's another part of the how to start a gardening business series. Now the whole purpose of this is to put information out there that hopefully can help you. This is just insights, observations, mistakes that I've made, because I'll tell you all about them. And hopefully when you start your business, or if you've already started your business, it can help you. It's not teaching you how to suck eggs. As I said, sometimes it's a different way of looking at things. Sometimes it's, hard-earned lessons that I've learned that hopefully will stop you making a mistake. So let's get on with it then. So this video is all about the quoting process. Now the best thing I could say to you, go onto eBay and type in personalized quote book. And what it is it's there's tons of them, loads of different companies, and if you send them a logo, what information you want where, they're understanding. My first quote book, I just sent them a picture. I screenshotted their quote book, scribbled out what I wanted and sent it to them over the eBay Messenger app. Simple. Get a quoting book, because you need to arm yourself with some tools before you go quoting. Right, first off, there's no harm in how you do it, but this is how I do it, and this has come from hard-earned lessons. Now I'll talk about this separately, but in amongst it is first impressions. It sounds basic, but for some people it's a big deal. So turn up when you're going to say you turn up. That's the first one. If it is that you say to I think the worst thing is, and I don't like it, and I hear other people don't like it, is when a tradesperson says, oh, I'll get to you one evening this week, love. Because the customer, they just don't know that's, they could be waiting in, they could be making, and believe you me, some people say stuff, but it's a big thing to a customer. They will wait in. And then if it is that you don't turn up, or, it frustrates them. But whenever you tell them you turn up, make sure you turn up. I know it sounds basic, but as you go along your journey, you'll have so many people say to you that just don't turn up. They don't turn up, they must not want to work. So yeah, turn up when you say. If you say, right, I'll be around 9 o'clock, my advice is to keep it vague. So say to the customer, yep, no problem, are you in this evening? Yeah, we'll be back in. We'll be back in after 4. Yep, no problem, I'll try and get to you after 5 o'clock. And then you've got that wiggle room, because if you say, yeah, I'll be there at 5:30, guaranteed something will hold you up. So always give a time window. Now, me personally, I think if you're going down the route of being a professional gardener, this is my opinion, and I'm a late adopter of it, believe you me, is get a uniform, get something branded. So for me, years gone past, I wore the same shirt, jeans, boots, and I had branded hoodies, and that sort of, to me, that marked me out. Thing is, people don't want you to turn up in a suit and jacket. They don't want you to turn up in trackies and trainers neither. They want you to look like you've been and doing a day's work, or to look like a gardener. So turn up as a gardener. If you turn up with grass clippings and mud on you, fair be, you've been working, you've been grafting. People understand that more, and they'll let that slide, than if you just turn up, trackies and trainers, look like you're going to the gym or out with your mates. That's my opinion. I think we should dress appropriately. Also, your uniform forms part of your PPE. So for me, I always wear a pair of thick jeans. If you want to wear jeans, get the stretch jeans, lifesaver, or cargo trousers. But I like the jeans because it's a bit thicker, and as you're sort of strimming or going through thorns, the canvas sort of cotton work trousers, stuff goes through them easy. You can buy proper gardening clothes in air quotes from like Still and stuff. It's up to you. I think Engelbert Strauss do proper gardeners or outdoor workwear. It's up to you. And as I said, uniform as well. So this year I've swapped over to t-shirts. They're easy to look after, they're easy to manage, you know, buy a load of it. And same with uniform, buy a load of it and wear uniform. I just think it makes you stand out. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, and I know there's plenty of people that have probably made the business by being in trackies and trainers, but that is my opinion. So get a uniform. Vehicle wise, this is up to you. I'll talk about vehicle choices in a separate video, but whatever you have should be fit for the purpose. If you turn up and your missus is KA and you can't fit all your stuff in, so that means that you're missing stuff off from their maintenance package because your work vehicle won't allow it, then you're letting the customer down. Customers don't care if you've got a brand new transit van with a full wrap. That might, you know, they might. I think the average person, they just want you to turn up on time, but they don't really care what vehicle it is, as long as it's fit for purpose and, you know, it's going to be helpful for your business. The last thing you want, like I said, is with a KA analogy. So, quote book. What I do is all my quoting gear, I keep it in a pouch. It's like a work. I got it free from ITS, and it's a zip pouch. And in that pouch, there is notepads, paper, my quoting book, receipt book. I have swapped over to, I can do all this digitally, but most people I go to haven't got email, they're old people. So yeah, quote book, notebook, pens and paper, pens, pads, you know, anything you need to write, you know, multiple pens. There's nothing worse going and the pens run out, you know, get multiples pens, because the first thing I like to do with a customer is, and also business cards and leaflets. The first thing I like to do is give my customer a business card, and I just ask how the day is. Hi, you alright, Ty? You had a good day today? And basically, a couple of minutes of small talk, because from that, and this is my opinion, and I've said this before, we aren't trying to be best mates with people, but that 2 minutes of small talk, you know, if they ask back how you are and they seem interested, that says a lot about the person. If they spend that 2 minutes moaning about something, whether it's a family member, next door neighbour, the weather, you know, they could jokingly say, if you turn up when it's raining, oh, the weather's lovely. But if they spend 2 minutes in negative connotation moaning about something, that tells you something about a customer. If they say absolutely bugger all to you and just point you around the back and say it's around the back, well, don't be despondent about that. Learn everything you can about people from what they say. To me, that's just how the relationship's going to be, and in many ways that's easier, especially it's regular, because they'll just want you to come, do the lawn, go. Nice and simple. So a couple of minutes of small talk really does help just for you to work people out. So after that, say, yep, would you like to show me what you'd like to do, please? Yeah, no problem, I'll meet you around the back. If you're dirty and you're muddy, don't go in their house. It's up to you. I personally think, as a gardener, I never need to enter somebody's house. Again, you know, but if they say, oh, come through, you know, for me, if I've got muddy trousers, muddy workwear on, it's a no-go. I just explained to her, I said, look, I'm going to step around, go through the side gate, because I've just got mud everywhere and your house looks like it's very clean. I don't want to get it dirty. They're fine with that. There's nothing worse than walking through and making, you know, creating a problem, basically. So let them show you what they want doing. Let them do all the talking first. Let them get it off, you know, whatever they want doing, let them get it. And listen to everything they say and take notes. I know it sounds dead basic, but sometimes you can go and the customer could be like, yep, that's the lawn, mow it. Simple. You don't need to write lawn, right, that's it. You don't need to measure it, you know, it's up to you. You don't need to do anything like that. You just need to listen to what this customer has to say for that first 2 minutes. While you're walking round though, the one thing that you need to do is to look at everything around it. So, gate. Is it gated? Right. Is there a padlock hanging off the gate? Yes, there is. Rusty as fuck. Not been used in ages. Right, simple. That's no problem. That's ruling that out. You know that padlock never gets used. You've not got a battle with that. Simple. Dog bowls, bloody hell, dogs. It is millions of children's toys. You know, quite often, if people have you in and don't tidy up when they come and quote, it's probably going to be like that forever. Look around, just look at literally every little thing. Have you got to move stuff? Is there room to get the mower down? Because you could have a huge lawn, but they could have bugger all access, and you're hooped. You can't get your mower down, you can't get your kit down. What do you do? Well, you have to use a smaller mower if you've got it. Look at all the kit, what you've got. Look at their access and think, will this correlate with that? So, let the customer explain to what you want to do. Take notes if you need it. Or if it is, it's straightforward. Yeah. If it is that the customer's got unrealistic expectations, pick them up on it there and then. Tell them, explain to them that actually, in my professional opinion, you say to me that you want 6 foot off that. I really don't think that's going to be beneficial at anything, because if you talk, you know, if you say yeah I'll do that, and you do it and it looks horrendous and you followed their instructions, well, technically you've done what they've said. So realistically, if they've quoted it and you've written it down, I'll get all to all this later, then it's on them. But quite often people don't realise at all. Conifers, oh, could you take it back behind the wall? Yes, I can do that, but it's going to be brown. Oh, well, that'll be alright, won't it? Well, in my professional opinion, they could come back, or they could never come back. If they come back, it's going to take time. So offer your sort of insight. Another thing as well is listen to what they have to say, and sometimes you might need to forego your professional input. So I'll explain. Customer will ring you up and say, hi, could you come and do it? I've got some shrubs that need tidying. You go there and it's a beautiful rose bush, absolutely beautiful, and it's overhanging her footpath, and you know it's getting in the way, and you know the kids are scratching their eyes out on it, whatever. Well, it might be the wrong time to cut it, but for that customer, that's the right time. If it needs cutting, it needs cutting. And you know, as much as it could be a travesty to just hack this back and bloody, you know, knacker it up, well, that's what the customer wants, and that's, you know, that it's needed. So sometimes you've almost got to sort of forget that sort of side and just do as the customer says. And this is the point, there's so many of these like little bloody, you know, nuance things that there's no cookie cutter, this is the way to do it, this isn't the way to do it. So also, whilst you're there, look around, look at your surroundings, think, is this going to be a ball ache? You know, is that gate going to be locked when I come back? Is it going to be thingy? Right, so we're getting there now. We're starting to form the quote. We're starting to work out the sort of pricing, what we need to be charging. We're thinking about that in the head. I'm not going to get on with that because that's one thing I can't do. I can't advise you on how much you should be an hour. You need to work that one out. So again, that's, you know, maybe it's a separate video, but you need to work out what your hourly price is. So you're starting to form this quote and you're starting to get an idea of the customer. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So explain to the customer. So at this point you've took notes if you need to. Now if a customer says to you, right, I need this shrub removing, or I need these dropping down, get it set in stone on the quote as best as you can, what height you want it, what shrub it is. Even if you know, say, right, I'll just take a picture of it, could you just point at it and show me, and tie a bit of fabric around it. I have marker spray in my van, so if a customer comes to me and says, right Sam, I've got, you know, I need all these trees removing, I need this one cutting down to this, no problem, squirt, 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 squirt a line, show the customer, simple, because once it's cut and it's out, you can't put it back, you're buggered, you know, and you're replacing it out your own money then, because as clear as they are, sometimes they aren't clear. So they might say to you, yeah, that's that green one there amongst all that other green stuff. Not helpful to you, is it? So get it all down, get it down in writing. And then after you've done that, show the customer, well, give them a copy, because that book I said to you earlier is a duplicate book. So you keep the master copy, or you keep whichever copy you want, but you keep a copy. I would always say you keep the master one, they keep the duplicate, whatever, just in case. It's up to you, but you've got a copy, they've got a copy. Read through it. Say to the customer, right, this is a fortnightly grass cut, and you want the first visit to be all these shrubs reducing on this left-hand border down to just below the fence height. You also want the beds turning over. Yeah. Oh, did you put on about strimming around the edges? Yep, that's included on the fortnightly cut. I can write it down for you, but it will be done. Oh, brilliant, no problem. What you don't want is people getting the wrong idea. What you don't want is things to be missed off, and then if you don't pick it up after the visit, they're there ringing you up, whatever. I had it a couple of years ago now, so I took a duplicate book, I went and quoted, and this was for, I think I've told this story before, this was for an OAP couple. Nice. There wasn't a problem with them, they were a nice couple. Got me in to do the grass for fortnightly cut, straightforward. I think it was like a £20 cut. It was what I would class as like a council house. It's a standard garden, lawn in the middle, borders either side, and he told me how much they liked the garden, doing the garden, all that. Anyway, so I went in and did the garden for, mowed the lawn. That was it, fortnightly cut. That was what was quoted, £20, straightforward. And I had I did this for about 6 months. I had a phone call off basically for full season. I had a phone call off the man, and he sounded pissed. He says, right, Sam, I said, I'm just ringing you up. This is nothing personal, but we no longer require your services. I said, oh, I says, is there a problem? He says, yeah. He says, we're just not happy with you. I'll be honest with you, back then I was really thinking, shit, what have I done? You know, it's a grass cut. I says, okay. I says, no problem. I says, what I'll do, I said, I'm coming up your area tomorrow. I'll pop in and have a chat with you. Okay then, right. Now, it's up to you whether you go down that route, but to me, they were a good customer. Never had a problem with him, and he sounded so upset. He just sounded, you know, he just sounded fucked off, basically. So I went and knocked on, and he come to the door, and his missus was behind, and they were both like, oh, look, we like you coming with all this, you are good, the lawn looks amazing after you've done it. It's just you're not keeping on the borders. We thought you'd have picked up on it by now. They're all overgrown. You know how much we like the garden. We're at the wit's end. And I was a bit shocked because I'd never been asked to do the borders. And I says to him, so I basically said that to him. I says, look, I've been coming here to do the grass now for a full season. I says, you never mentioned the borders. Yes, we did it when you first come. We told you that we wanted you to look after the garden. I says, well, that was the agreement. I thought that's what I was doing with the grass. I said, you told me to do the grass. I said, I quoted for it. It was written down on the quote. And she says, no, we've got the quote here. She fished it out. She had to go looking for it. And on the quote read fortnightly grass cut. That was it. And no mention of board work, nothing. I says to her, look, it's down on the quote as fortnightly grass cut, £20. And then the excuses started. Oh well, we thought you would have done it at that price, and they changed like that. Lovely people, changed. And I says to him, I says, well, okay, flipping it another way around, you've never mentioned this to me before. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Well, we thought you'd have done it by now. Every excuse, we thought you'd have done it. You should have done it. It was on the quote. That's what they tried to argue, even though it wasn't. I said, but you've never. I said, I've been here now for, a full season gardening. I says, you've never once mentioned the quote, the borders to me. I said, if it was a problem, and I can tell it's a problem because I can see that you are upset over it, but you never mentioned these borders to me at all. and she says, well, I'm sure we would have done. I said, I can't argue that. I says, because if I argue that, I'll be calling you a liar. I says, but as far as I'm aware, I says, of all the visits, it's never once been mentioned, and if it was mentioned, it would be corrected and it would be sorted. In the end, they looked at each other, and then they both backed down, and he says, well, I think we have been a bit hasty. I think we have got it wrong. We've got, I think between the 2 hours we've got the wires crossed. Would you be able to basically carry on with the service and give us a price for the borders to get it sorted? Now, that was that situation done and dusted. What I did is I just explained to him that, look, I don't operate like this. I don't like being accused like that, because they did go on. They did, shout and moan, and I don't work like that. I'm not here to be treated like that. And I explained that to him in a calm and professional manner. And I explained to him that, well, actually, we are nearly at the end of the season. I says, but take this as I won't be working here again. Calm and nicely, nothing personal. It wasn't spitting the toys out, and this is another thing. It was explaining, I don't want to work for people like that, lying, accusing, because he did all sorts to get out of it. Yes, it's on the quote. When I said to him over the phone, yes, it's on the quote, definitely. So that's a little story time there for you. So quote, write everything down, get the basics sorted. And I said this in the first video, and I've probably said this in the second video as well. There is note as queer as folk. What this quote is doing as well, I don't know much about the legal side, but heaven help it if you have to go to small claims to try and get your money back because somebody's wormed out of pain. The quote process is the first basis. You've got that written quote. You've got something there that you can say. Now, as for terms and conditions, that's a separate video. As for, does the customer sign the quote, acknowledge the quote? I don't get a customer to sign anything. If I'm offering a £25 or £35, it seems a bit over the top for me. What I do is I try and get as much down on text message as possible when appropriate. So I will drop them a quote. Now, for me, I give them the price there and then. I know others do it differently. Other people like to go and think about it. For me, I am very much a strike while the iron's hot, and I trust my pricing. So I will walk around, look at it, and I will leave them with a price, and I'll explain to them, yep, it's going to be this much. I'll write it down on a quote, and I will basically read everything through verbatim. Yep, no problem, this is a fortnightly grass cut at £25 a cut, whatever. They know they've had the gardener, and you're ticking things off. People don't like waiting. That's my opinion again. So what you're doing is that you are turning up on time, bonus point. You look smart and professional, bonus point. You are listening to the customer. People don't like being talked about, bonus point. You are then saying yes to the work. Yes, I can sort that for you. Yes, I can do this for you. You're getting that into people's head straight away. You're covering your back. You're doing a quote. You're looking around. You're anticipating all of these things that you see. Don't add. You can't have a set thing. You go, right, maybe a lock gate, I'll put an extra £1 on. Dog shit, extra £5. But use all the surroundings to form the quote. Don't just look at the lawn and go £20. If it's got bad access, dog shit, it's up a set of steps, everything needs to form it. Another thing as well, I visit every single quote. I don't really agree with photo quotes because they could be so misleading. You could miss these things out. I think people like it as well. I think if I had a cut, if I had a thing, I just think it's a bit lazy that the gardener. I just think, well, he doesn't want to come out. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. So, you turned up, brilliant. All this is bonus points. You explain what you're going to do. Use this opportunity to upsell. If they just want you in for a grass cut, who looks after the hedges and shrubs for you? Oh, well, maybe your husband. Do you want to do it? Are you able to do it? Could you do it? Yes. I've noticed the patio. It's looking a bit slippy. Do you know, do you have somebody in to sort the patio? Oh, no, we don't. Use every opportunity you can to push your business, and then you give them the price, and then in the customer's eyes, you're solving their problem. If it is that they don't accept the price, well, it is what it is. But I reckon most of the time, 9-10 times out of 10, as long as you've not done anything wrong or you're ridiculously expensive, they're going to accept. And you can have confirmation off them there and then. To me, that's the sort of thing with quoting. After you're quoted, go away, and what the first thing I do is I send them a text message, because 99% of the people I go to got mobile phones, and I send them basically a text message explaining what we've just done. So, hi Janet, great to see you. Look, nice stuff like that. Great to see you. Just letting you know, I'll be here every fortnight from this date to look after your grass, whatever. I'm here every fortnight to do the garden maintenance for you, to keep on to whatever you want. You know, keep it brief. Don't, you know, if it's a billion jobs, you don't need to send that. But fortnightly, whatever. Hi Janet, it's great to see you earlier. Looking forward to starting on the garden. I will be there on the 4th of March, and I will be there every 2 weeks after that date. Price for the visit, £35. And then as soon as they text you back, I don't know if legally this is right, but as soon as I get a text message back, boom, acknowledgement. That's completing that cycle. They've acknowledged that. Yep, no problem, great. And you've got that text communication. Now, some people like to be spoken to on the phone, some people prefer text, but keep it on a text. You've got copy of everything. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm probably making gardening sound very daunting, but you've got it, and you've got a copy of it then. You've got, you know, that acknowledgement that if they decide to rip up the quote, you've got the text message saying that you were there for a fortnight, every fortnight, X amount, to keep on top of the garden, to do the grass, whatever. So that's it. That's about the nuts of quoting. I've probably missed stuff off, but hopefully the people in the comments should fill the blanks in. There's absolutely banger of the comments. I quite often find that the comments are just as helpful as videos sometimes. Use these videos as, even if, you know, and the good thing is if I put something up wrong, someone will correct me. So you will find the right answers along your way. You don't, if it is, you know, you're just starting out, you can't afford the uniform, you know, you can't afford the nice fan, whatever. Trust me on this. Turning up on time, being reliable. Even if you explain to the customer, look, I've got no plant noise whatsoever, but what I am is I'm a keen worker and I'm a good listener. You like your garden, I can tell. You tell me how you'd like it done and I'll make it done. That will get you so far. As I said, even turning up on time and being reliable will get your feet through that door so much better than you can think. So that is quoting in a nutshell from me. Have a good day, guys. As usual, keep on gardening.